The story begins inside a huge arena floating in space, attached to a powerful alien station where many species gather to judge new civilizations. And the mood is tense because humans have just entered the wider galaxy and no one knows whether they should be trusted or feared. Since Earth is known as a death world, a place with strong gravity, violent storms, dangerous animals, and constant struggle. And many alien races believe that anything born on such a world must be naturally violent and unstable. So instead of welcoming humans with talks and agreements, the coalition decides to test them through a public trial of strength meant to humiliate them. And thousands of alien beings watch from behind glowing shields as a single human is chosen to represent her entire species. Lieutenant Mara Vance, who does not look impressive by alien standards because she is small, lightly armored, and calm instead of loud or aggressive. And she stands alone on the arena floor carrying only a black case while across from her stands Krafen the Voice Crusher, a massive warrior from a brutal species known for raw power and public kills. A creature so large and strong that the ground shakes when he moves. And his presence is meant to scare the human into fear before the fight even begins. And when he laughs and mocks her, calling her soft and weak, the crowd joins him because they expect this to be a quick and bloody lesson. But Mara does not react with anger or fear, which already feels strange to those watching. And when the judge announces that the trial has begun and orders the human to perform, Krafen demands she prove what a Deathworlder can do, expecting some loud display or advanced weapon. Yet instead she calmly opens her case and pulls out a simple steel blade. Something old, simple, and deeply human. And this confuses the aliens because they rely on energy weapons and heavy armor. And to them a blade looks outdated and foolish, which makes Krafen laugh even harder as he believes the fight is already won. But the moment the signal starts and he charges with full force, the tone changes completely. Because Mara does not retreat in panic or try to overpower him. Instead, she steps forward into danger with perfect timing, showing that humans do not survive by being the strongest, but by being precise and smart. And with one clean movement she strikes. Not wildly, not again and again, but once. And the blade cuts through flesh and bone so fast that for a second nothing seems to happen. And that pause is important because it lets the truth sink in. As Krafen looks at his own severed arm on the ground and realizes too late that the fight is over. And his collapse is quiet and final, shocking the entire arena into silence. Because the human did not scream or celebrate or boast. She simply ended the threat and stood calmly as if this was normal. And in that moment the crowd understands something new and frightening. That humans are not dangerous because they enjoy violence, but because they are used to it, because they come from a world where survival depends on knowing exactly when and how to act. And when the judge declares the challenge over, it feels less like a victory and more like a warning sent across the galaxy. And as Mara cleans her blade and walks away without looking back, unseen enemies watching from far away begin to understand that humanity is not a species to mock or test lightly. Because behind their calm faces is a lifetime of struggle, discipline, and quiet strength. And the performance that was meant to shame them instead becomes the spark that changes how the galaxy sees humans forever. The situation grew even more tense as the human forces faced the relentless onslaught of the alien armada, their ships gleaming like dark stars against the void. The Deathworlder, a young but fiercely skilled human warrior named Kayla, moved with calm precision among the chaos, her senses sharper than any sensor or weapon system aboard the battered fleet. Explosions rocked the nearby vessels, sending fragments of metal and fire drifting through space, yet she remained unshaken. Her eyes locked on the approaching enemy dreadnoughts that dwarfed entire battalions of human ships. Her comrades struggled to maintain their formations, their weapons failing against alien shields and rapid-fire plasma beams that tore through hulls with terrifying ease. Kela's ingenuity became their hope. She devised daring maneuvers that allowed small strike teams to slip past massive defenses. Her leadership inspiring courage where despair had begun to take root. Boarding actions turned into chaotic, brutal clashes, with humans fighting in close quarters against towering alien brutes with unnatural speed and strength. Kela's blade sang through the air, cutting through alien armor with strikes that seemed almost superhuman, earning her a reputation even among the enemy. Yet beyond the physical battles, she faced a test of mind and spirit, as the aliens began using psychological warfare, projecting nightmarish illusions and whispers to break human morale. Despite the pressure, Kela's resolve never wavered, her confidence radiating to her comrades as she orchestrated counterattacks, turning near defeats into stunning victories. Alliances within the fleet shifted as other species, who had been skeptical of humanity, began to follow Kela's lead, amazed at her skill and courage. The tension built to a fever pitch when an enormous alien battleship emerged, its energy cannons ready to obliterate the entire human fleet. Kela, understanding that conventional tactics would fail, drew upon her years of survival on the harshest death worlds, blending instinct, experience, and raw courage to plan a desperate assault. She led a small squadron on a high-risk mission through asteroid fields and debris clouds, evading the massive enemy fire with unmatched skill, all while coordinating strikes that distracted the dreadnought and bought time for the larger fleet to regroup. The pressure and stakes were unbearable, yet in the midst of chaos, Kela's calm clarity and deadly efficiency shone like a beacon, her every move a testament to human adaptability and strength. The enemy, confident in their overwhelming numbers and advanced technology, began to falter as Kela's audacious tactics disrupted their plans, and whispers of her exploits spread across the battlefield, boosting human morale. By the end of this part, the human fleet, battered but far from broken, had carved a path through impossible odds, and Kela stood as a symbol of humanity's indomitable spirit, ready for the decisive confrontation that would determine the fate of countless worlds. Her courage, strategy, and skill had turned the tide, but the final challenge loomed larger than ever, promising that only the strongest, most determined, and fearless would survive the coming storm. The final confrontation erupted with a ferocity that shook the void itself, as Kela and the human fleet faced the alien super-dreadnought, a colossal ship bristling with weapons that could obliterate planets and shields that seemed unbreakable. Every human vessel was pushed to its limits, engines screaming as they dodged torrents of plasma and energy beams that carved fiery paths through space. Amid the chaos, Kela led her strike team in a daring assault, weaving through debris and enemy fire, her blade and instincts guiding her with deadly precision. She boarded the dreadnought, moving through corridors filled with alien guards whose sheer strength and speed made each encounter a life-or-death struggle. Yet she fought with a combination of agility, cunning, and unyielding courage that turned the tide of every skirmish. Explosions ripped through the ship as human sabotage teams detonated charges, and alarms blared as alien commanders realized they had underestimated the Deathworlder's skill and resolve. Kela's every strike was calculated, her blade slicing through armored limbs and alien technology alike, leaving the enemy stunned and disoriented. She moved as if the ship itself were an extension of her body, anticipating attacks before they came, turning each deadly encounter into a display of human ingenuity and resilience. Outside, the human fleet engaged in a desperate, coordinated attack, exploiting the openings Kela created within the dreadnought, as capital ships unleashed volleys of fire that tore chunks from the enemy vessel. The aliens, once confident in their dominance, were now forced onto the defensive, struggling to respond to the combination of tactical brilliance and raw ferocity that the humans displayed. At the climax, Kayla confronted the alien warlord at the heart of the ship, a being of immense power and cunning who had expected no challenge. Words were exchanged, but action spoke louder than threats. Kayla's eyes burned with determination as she launched a strike that combined every ounce of skill, strategy, and sheer willpower she possessed. The duel was brutal, a clash of strength and precision that seemed to shake the very hull of the ship. But in the end, Kayla's unwavering spirit and adaptability proved superior, her blade finding the decisive point that ended the alien commander's reign. With the dreadnought incapacitated and its crew in disarray, the human fleet seized victory, their triumph echoing across the stars as a testament to humanity's resilience, courage, and ingenuity. Amid the wreckage, Kayla stood among her people, battered but unbroken, a symbol of what humans could achieve even against insurmountable odds. The aliens, once so confident and ruthless, were forced to retreat, leaving humanity to claim the battlefield and inspire awe and respect across the galaxy. The victory came at a cost, as many brave souls were lost, but their sacrifice ensured that humanity survived, stronger and more united than ever. Kayla's actions became legend, not just for her unmatched combat skill, but for proving that even in the darkest hour, human determination, creativity, and courage could overcome the impossible, and that a single Deathworlder could change the course of the stars. The galaxy would never forget the day a human drew her weapon, faced impossible odds, and emerged victorious, leaving an indelible mark on all who witnessed her legend, a reminder that humanity's spirit was unbreakable, adaptable, and capable of facing any threat, no matter how powerful or alien.